Hi everyone, it's BDevine again here, and it is a really hot day here in Adelaide, so I apologise if you can hear my little air conditioner going in my healing room today. But I wanted to speak with you guys about confidence in your life. Now, this is a subject that is very near and dear to me. Confidence, I've never had confidence in my life at all. And I don't want to sabotage myself by saying that, but I want to explain to you a few things that you may already be feeling in your life about confidence. And I will obviously use my own life stories to illustrate to you that I understand how you may be feeling. You know, you're wanting confidence in your life, and you are asking for confidence in your life, and you are asking the angels and the universal energies to be with you, and nothing seems to happen. I know exactly what this is like. I will tell you my greatest, the worst thing that happened to me. I guess I may have told you guys this before, but when I was 13 years old, I actually went to live in the United States with my dad, who was a teacher. And I'd gone from a hot summer in December 1988. I went from a hot summer to a freezing cold winter where there was snow and everything. And of course my body took a long time to adjust. I was only supposed to be in America for 3 months, ended up being in America for 3 years. And I had an experience in high school. I started to go to high school in the States. Of course, it was very different to the high schools that we have in Australia, which I'll just explain quickly. The high schools in Australia are very open, meaning that when you're going from classroom to classroom, like from lesson to lesson, you actually walk outside. You know, you walk from class to class. There is a big grassed area that you might have to walk across. My particular high school in Western Australia was right on the waterfront, so from classrooms I could see the beach, I could see, you know, there was plenty of grass, it was green, everything like this. And I went to Pennsylvania, and where my dad lived. And of course the high school there was completely different. For number one, we all travelled on a yellow school bus, which was something I'd only ever seen on TV. I didn't actually think that it was real. And here I was travelling on this school bus every day. I had to walk through a graveyard, a cemetery. I'd walk through this cemetery every day. Everything was completely different. I didn't know anybody. Went to school, and everything was fine actually. I got used to the fact that we don't leave the building. We can't walk outside and just walk, you know, have a walk in the garden or anything like that. Once you were in those doors, the doors were shut, and you know, we were just in this stuffy building with, you know, hundreds of other children, and that was different. Anyway, this one particular day I was in math class, and I wasn't very good at math. Well, I didn't think I was very good at math anyway. And so in Australia I used to hide in the back of the class and just, you know, never got asked to come up to the front, and I just managed to wade my way through mathematics. Well, in this particular class we were given seats, and so I had to sit in the front. Anyway, it came on the time when the teacher called on my name to come out the front, and it was bad enough I had this Australian accent, and everyone would say, "Do kangaroos come through your house?" And I'd have to answer all these ridiculous questions. Well, I thought they were ridiculous anyway. I thought, no, do bears wander through your house? Anyway, I got asked to go up to the front and write something on the blackboard, which I guess we don't have too many blackboards in school anymore. It's all whiteboards, but anyway. They asked me to come up to the front and answer this particular question, and it was about percentages. I'll never forget it because it was the day my life changed forever. Anyway, I did not have a clue the answer because I wasn't even listening to the teacher, which was half my trouble. I was always talking to somebody next to me. So I wasn't listening, so I had no idea what she was talking about, and I had to face the blackboard and write this problem on the board, and it was a real problem. Anyway, after standing there for about 5 minutes, I couldn't write anything. I was frozen, absolutely frozen in fear. I just didn't know what to say, I didn't know what to do. And I felt this huge rush of hot, you know, this heat just rush over me. And at the first moment I thought, well, you know, the weather's different, maybe my body's adjusting, you know, whatever the problem was. And I turned around, the teacher said, "Rebecca, what are you doing?" And I turned around to face the teacher, and apparently, I didn't know, but apparently my whole entire face was bright red, and that was this rush of heat. And as I was standing there, and I'm saying, I just don't know the answer to the teacher, my face just got redder and redder and redder. And of course, teenagers being teenagers, pointed it out and said, "Why is your face all red? Ah, ha, ha," you know, all laughed at me that my face was red and all of this. And at this time, I just wanted a big hole to open up and me to fall straight in it so that no one could even talk to me anymore. I didn't know what being red in the face was. I didn't know that what I was having was a panic attack. I didn't know that I was having a blushing attack, an attack of being embarrassed, because I'd never felt it before. And if I hadn't noticed, you see. And so this was the first time that this happened. And of course everybody was asking me why, you know, my face turned red, and of course I didn't know why it turned red. I just hoped that it never happened again. Well, it did happen again, and it happened and it happened and it happened. It actually happened until I was 32 years old. This blushing would attack me, and it was so bad that I would pray in the morning and I'd say, "Please, please, angels, God, whoever's there, please don't let it happen to me today. Please, 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 please let me be confident. Please allow me to just get through this today without this attack happening. My God, you know, please." And of course, the more that I was worrying about it, the more it happened, and it happened, and it happened, and it happened, and it got so bad that I would sweat. I began to stutter. So I used to stutter on top of everything else, and then of course everyone would be staring at me. So when we're talking about confidence, I totally get it, and I totally understand what it is like to be paralyzed in fear and to not be able to stop yourself from thinking about the stupid thing that you think everybody is noticing. Even when I was asking my angels to be there, I'm like, "Why haven't you helped this happen to me?" Ooh, you know, I'd get really, really angry, and then I'd cry about it. The next day it would happen again. Sure enough, it was just going on. So what I discovered was not only was it a past life issue where I'd been burned to death at the stake, and you know, for speaking up, and this was a moment where I needed to speak up and I couldn't, so I started to, this burning feeling happened inside of me, and I worked out that yes, it was a you know, a past life experience. But that didn't help me with the constant thought process that I still had. So although it alleviated a lot, you know, and I didn't really have the problem as much, or it wasn't as noticeable, I felt, I still had the problem because I still panicked, and I still had these panic attacks, and I you know, was so anxious that I ended up with IBS. So, you know, my stomach would bloat out like this, and I'd have bad gas, and I'd start to shake. I developed ulcers, my hair fell out, not just through being physically abused during my life, but through stress. I had a big patch of hair that was, you know, really, really, really thin. I looked, you know, terrible. And so I didn't know how to train my thoughts to stop this worry problem. So this is what I'm going to help you guys with today. You know, you may be feeling that you are never going to be confident, and you may think that you wish that you could be as confident as somebody else. Some of you even think that you wish that you could be as confident as I am sitting here talking in front of a camera. But you know, I find that really funny because of, you know, my past history. And now I've reached a point where I can speak to you guys without stuttering, and I can speak to you guys without fear of turning bright red. But as I said, I trained myself to believe that others were noticing my embarrassment, or they were noticing my anxiety. In reality, they couldn't have given two flops, you know, what I was doing. They had their own worries, or their own insecurities, or their own, you know, troubles with confidence, and I was the last thing on their mind. So that was one thing that you do need to get rid of, is the fact that other people are actually worried about what you're doing, because half the time they're just worried about what they're doing, and they're actually worrying about what you think, you know, more than what, you know, you're worrying about what they think. They're actually worrying about what you think. So you need to retrain your thoughts. Now, I had to retrain my thoughts to accept myself for who I am. This is a huge, huge step in your life, because although other people used to tell me I'm attractive and this, that and the other, I never believed it. Never, for a million years. I thought, haha, I'm not attractive because I turn bright red. You know, I'm not attractive because I'm fat. Oh, I'm not attractive because of a million of other things that I made up in my mind. And generally it comes from something from childhood. So, you know, I was 13 years old when this happened, and before then I was quite confident in myself, although I always felt that I was ugly, or I wish I looked like somebody else, or I wish I had the confidence that they had to do the things that they wanted to do. I even wished I had those people, my friends' parents, because they always seem so much nicer than, you know, what's at your own house. But I also developed, or I worked out that other people felt that they wish they had my parents. So, you know, it went around. So you have to change the thought patterns that you've had since you were little. And you know what? Guilt likes to punish you. It's a big punisher. You feel guilty about having these types of feelings. You feel guilty about thinking that you're fat, or thinking that you're ugly, or having no confidence. Oh, all of those things, and you just want to absolutely scream. So the first thing that you have to do is say, I accept myself for who I am. Warts, redness in the face, embarrassment, whatever. I am individual, and that is who I am. And then you have to think to yourself, if you really want to be confident in your life, look to someone who you feel is confident. You know, look to them and imagine yourself how you would look if you were confident, you know. Believe that it's not the angels or the universe or anything else that's going to put a magic wand on your shoulders and go, now you're confident. It just doesn't work like that at all. You have to do a little bit of effort yourself. Now, you've hypnotized yourself and made yourself believe for so long that you are stupid or fat or ugly or whatever it is that you are, which has then made you feel not confident. So you've tricked yourself or hypnotized yourself to believe that way. So what the answer is to hypnotize yourself or believe in yourself in a completely different way. Now, the doubts are still going to raise their head. The doubts are still going to raise their head, but I promise you, if you are actually working on visualizing yourself exactly how you wish to be, suddenly it's just there. Suddenly it's not even an effort anymore for it to happen to you. It's just there. And with that, you know, the IBS or any other health problems that you have go away, because the main thing is that you are saying to yourself, I accept myself for who I am. Bang, I am worthy of this too. Wow. You know, it's such a strong and powerful thing. And as I said to you, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens with constant work throughout your life. Now, there are still going to be times where naturally you're going to be nervous, you know, like standing up in front of a crowd. Of course you're going to be nervous, but if you can train yourself to go, you know what, I'm going to be confident when I'm speaking, and I'm not really going to worry about what anyone else thinks. Actually, they're actually all going to really like me, you know, because we always put this cloud around ourselves where we think everyone's going to hate us and everyone's going to think we're an idiot. Well, why don't we put a cloud around it saying everyone's going to love it, and everyone's going to think you're great, and everyone's going to see who you really are, and everyone's going to strive for that same confidence, and everyone's going to be at peace, see? So this is the difference. We just need to retrain our thoughts, and it is so simple. It is so shockingly simple that once you start doing it, you will get so excited in your life again. You will find life again. You will find, you know, this is very emotional for me, and I want you guys to see it and feel it in my voice. That, you know, finding life again, no matter what anybody thinks about you, is just such a, you know, the freedom is there. I was just talking about freedom before, you know, freedom to have the things that you want in your life. This is true for your mental state as well, you know. You control your mind. Have the freedom to control your mind and you know, your mind will just take over, and it'll just reprogram itself to fit this mold that you're putting it in. So everybody, you know, you have this confident person inside of you. You know, you are confident. Don't listen to that chattering that goes on that says, you're just an idiot, you're stupid, no one's going to like you. You know, push it away from you. That's just stupid. You know, you've spent too many years hiding and listening to this voice inside your head that tells you you are not as good as somebody else. Stop judging yourself against somebody else. So don't look at a pretty girl and say, well, she's only confident because she's attractive. How do we know that? You know, it may be the hardest thing in the world for her to get up there and talk, you know, and she may not even think she's attractive. She may be fighting with herself the whole time she's up there, but she fakes it, you know, and pretends that she's confident. And suddenly she is, you know, because she's, you know, taking on that persona. So don't judge other people or you will be judged. That is a true thing. Just believe that everybody is going to listen to what you've got to say. They're going to take from it what they want to take from it. And, you know, the rest doesn't matter. You're speaking your truth and you are doing the best that you can in your life. And the most important thing is that you are accepting yourself for who you are without judging yourself against another person. That is the biggest thing that you can do for yourself, and to give you natural confidence that is there in your life. Now, I don't even care if I am turning bright red or I feel heat inside of myself or somebody else thinks anything stupid. They're basically wasting their time doing that, and I'm wasting my time thinking in that way. Like, I'm wasting my time if I'm worrying about what they're thinking. So you can do this yourself. You don't have to sit in front of a video camera and make videos on YouTube or anything like that. But you can start looking at yourself in the mirror and going, you know what, you're okay who you are. Wow, you know, you've got great attributes about yourself. You're unique who you are, and you are confident. Continually tell yourself that you are confident. And before you go to bed at night, visualize yourself doing something that's your worst fear, whether it's, you know, public speaking or even leaving the house. You know, I didn't even want to leave the house for years. You know, imagine yourself doing it and shaking yourself off and going, oh, for goodness sakes, I'm wasting, you know, my life thinking this way. And you know what? It hasn't worked. So how about, you know, I'll try something else. Retrain your thoughts. The confidence is there for you guys. Any problem that you've got in your body can be healed by releasing and accepting yourself. Any single problem. Guilt is the biggest cause of heart attack and cancer in your body, because guilt is eating yourself up. So you can imagine what cancer does. It just eats you up inside. You know, heart attack is stress. You know, your heart is, you know, you are feeling like your heart is aching all the time, and of course you cause yourself to have heart problems. Skin, you know, when you have psoriasis or, you know, problems like rashes and things like that, something is under your skin, you know, something is annoying the crap out of you, and generally you're annoying yourself because you just can't break free from a cycle that you've placed yourself in. Another thing is, like I was saying, irritable bowel syndrome. You know, you've got irritable bowel. Well, who's given you, you know, who's making you feel that way? Who's really annoying you? Because irritable bowel comes from someone giving you crap in your life. And we've all been there. It also comes from pushing down, you know, grief and hate for yourself, self-hatred. There's been something in your life where you've made to feel that you hate yourself, or, you know, you hate a part of yourself. And no matter how much, you know, I might explain to you guys that I feel confident in myself and I'm happy and all that, there's part of me that hates myself still. And I still end up with, you know, a few problems to do with my stomach and irritable bowel and all that. But I'm getting better. The more that I speak to you guys about things, the more that I get things out of my chest, the more that I write things down, the more that I follow my own advice, you know, the less, you know, I start losing weight and looking better with my skin, and you know, my hair's starting to grow, and you know, I don't stutter anymore. I don't have half as many, I mean 3/4 as many problems. But for the rest of your life, you still may have to you know, continue this cycle of accepting yourself. There's going to be moments in your life where you feel inadequate, and then you just have to, you know, keep yourself in check and say, I'm doing it again. Why am I feeling that way? Start to observe your feelings. Don't look for somebody else to heal you, because it won't work. You need to discover yourself, and I have written an article about discovering me, and it was you know, basically about feeling like I had all these responsibilities, you know, things that I have to do, and ways that I feel like I have to be, and I'm stopping that now. I'm releasing myself from that, and I'm just letting myself be me. And wow, it's a discovery process. It is something you've probably never actually done before, because you've always pushed your own feelings aside for everybody else. But believe me, that ends up being resentment in your life. If there are times when you've pushed all your feelings aside for somebody else, or gone out of your way for somebody else that wasn't appreciated, these things are building resentment for you. So confidence is yours. You are a confident person. So stop saying, no, I'm not. I am confident. You need to say that. I am confident, and I am free to be me. I'm free to be me. I'm not, you know, absolutely perfect, and that's okay. I'm imperfect as well, you know, it makes me unique. So start grasping the things that you think are so bad about yourself, and turn them into something wonderful about yourself. And in a way, you are self-hypnotizing. You are doing it, and you've done it all your life so far anyway. So give this a try. Your angels are there to help you. But as I said, they are not going to make miracles happen in your life without you first taking a step forward. And yes, you know, it's not always going to be perfect and smooth sailing. And so what? It's life. Life is all about learning and discovery, and the biggest thing you're going to have to learn to discover is yourself, and accept yourself for who you are. Walk past the mirror, instead of saying, oh my God, look at me. Say, wow, you know, I love you, I love you. You know, grab each part of your body, grab your big belly if you've got one, and grab your big bottom if you've got one, and say, you know what, I'm sick of saying I hate you. I'm going to say that I love you, and I now allow you to leave me, and you know, free me from all of this. You know, hold yourself and say, I love you, stomach, but it's time for you to go. I did this recently. I said, I love you, stomach, but it's really time for you to go. And I actually felt something lift away from me. I was like, wow, maybe I can do it for my bottom as well. And I did. I held my bottom. I said, I love you, bottom, but you know what? You really need to go, and the real bottom needs to come out. So, you know, laugh at me and do it yourself. It is awesome. It's liberating, it's free, it's what you want for yourself, and it is just, you know, a thought away. Freedom is a thought away. Don't look for someone else to give it to you, please. Don't look there, because you're still thinking that you can't do it. You're still thinking that someone else has to give it to you, but, you know, you can give it to you. Give yourself this gift, and, you know, wow, you will change. I mean, wow, you will change so much. You will be the person that you want to be. You are a divine portal of light. Start accepting it, and start seeing yourself how the angels look at you. They don't see anything other than this divine, beautiful spark of the divine there, having a life on earth. They're so proud of you, you know, so proud of you. Start being proud of yourself. And I know, once again, I've gone on a little bit of a chat with you guys, but it's been a while. It's been a while between chats, but here I am, and you know what, I will, whenever I get a feeling that I need to talk to somebody in particular, and this message is going out to people, and you know who you are, and I'm just going to say stuff now, and I'm not going to try to say the right things or anything like that. I'm just going to talk to you guys straight out, how it is, and on we go. On we go to the next phase of life. So please know that if you are looking for confidence, stop looking everywhere else and accept it. Accept that you are already confident. And you know what, when you get that phone call where at one stage in your life you would have gone, please God, please God, please God, help me get through this phone call. Please God, let me, you know, when you do that, suddenly this phone call will come and you'll just go blah, 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 and you'll just be able to say stuff. And then at the end you'll be like, wow, that was me, I did it, ooh, it's so exciting. I mentioned phone call because I just did one recently, and it was just a traumatic event that has been going on and on and on in my life, you know, and this time the phone rang and I just answered it and I knew who it was on the other end and I didn't even panic, not one bit, and it was the first time in my life that that happened, and I just trusted, you know, without even thinking about it, that everything I said would be just the right things to say, and I felt free, you know, and you can do it too. And if you have to listen to this video a few times and laugh at me, I hope you do. Because I'm, you know, I'm just like you guys, learning and growing as we go, and be the confidence you want to be the person you want to be, just be it, be the change you want to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi said that, and he said his life was his message, and it can be yours as well. Your life is your message. Your life is the blueprint that you leave behind for others to follow. So let's have fun, enjoy our life and the freedom that follows for everybody. And I hope you feel better now, and get started on this, especially at night. It works really well before you're going to sleep. Just imagining yourself perfectly confident, you know, take yourself through the steps that you need to go through, whether it's standing up in front of the crowd or speaking to that person that you're afraid of speaking to, whatever it is, continue to see yourself doing it confidently. And I'm here to tell you that once you step over that you know, hurdle and let go of inhibitions and really let go of them and really accept yourself for who you are, then wow, you know, there's no limit. There's no limit to what you can achieve. So I'll leave it there, and thank you guys for listening, and many blessings to everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.